The following program is a PodcastOne.com production.
From Hollywood, California, by way of the Broken Skull Ranch, this is the Steve Austin Show.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now, here's Steve Austin.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Stone Cold Podcast. I'm coming to you live from the mean streets of Anaheim, California. Normally, I operate out of 316 Gimmick Street, but I'm waiting here for the big show. He is my guest tonight. While I buy a little time for the big show to get here, I want to throw out a couple of shout-outs. First one I want to throw out is to Daniel Bryan. Boy, I tell you what, last week, that promo at the end of the show, riding off into the sunset, I'm going to be real honest with you. I am known as the toughest SOB to ever lace up a pair of boots in the squared circle at the WWE. And that promo left me with a tear in my eye that trickled down my cheek. Daniel Bryan, you had a hellacious career. I enjoyed all of your work. You earned my respect, and I'm so proud of everything that you were able to accomplish. So sorry to see you go. I've been down that road before, too. Swig a beer. I'll catch you down the road. I'm proud of you. And I want to throw a shout-out to Bret Hart, one of my toughest opponents, one of the people that I have the utmost respect for, and a very close friend who just went through prostate cancer surgery. Bret, I left you a voicemail. I said I love you, and I mean that. I know I speak for the entire WWE Universe that wishes you all the best and to stay strong and to please continue your fight and to get better, and we'll see you down the road. Hey, man, I can sit here and talk all day long, and I will. I'm waiting on the big show. I got a hell of a kick out of watching that last little segment there. I was compelled to get out of my chair, run to the ring, stomp a mud hole in the Wyatt family's ass and walk it dry. But since I was all mic'd up, left here to my own devices, and sipping on a cold beverage, I chose to wait for the big show. I continue to wait for this man. He's the largest athlete in the world. So what am I going to do? Run out there and drag his ass in, or sit here and wait? I'm going to sit here and wait for the big show to come in and start my conversation. I feel him coming nearer. I smell him coming nearer. Come on, bring your big ass in. I'm waiting on you.
I know.
Jiminy H. Cricket on the popsicle stick. Table left, camera right.
I got it, dude. I had to run over to Stanford real quick.
Did you blow up?
Yeah, of course I did. There's your slammy.
Oh, dude, you shouldn't have.
Yeah,
but I'm
see?
glad you did. Hey, little speech here. I'd rather have a Slammy than a Grammy. Check this out. I want to thank the WWE Universe for voting me for what I get the best damn original show on the network. What are you talking to me about a haircut? I lost this a long time ago. I want to thank the WWE Universe for bestowing this wonderful honor upon me. I appreciate it very much. And I tell you what, I was just talking about the Daniel Bryan promo last week, man. I cried.
I do too. I mean, everybody knows I cry a lot, but you know that was a really emotional deal for everyone.
Well, speaking of crying a lot, I also know what. Before I do that, dude, you brought me.
Yeah, my man. Thank you
very much. It's a Steve Austin Broken Skull IPA from El Segundo Brewing Company right here in Los Angeles, California. My gift to you.
Now, am I allowed to drink this now?
You better talk to Mr. VKM about that. I don't have any 411 on it, but you can do whatever the hell you want. You're 450 pounds, 7 feet tall. Yeah. I'm just going to sit here. You want me to open up for you?
Is that cold steel knife you got there, too?
That is a cold steel knife. That thing will come out very, very soon.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. You know, I follow you on Twitter.
Hey, dude, you got you was getting your ass handed to you. You all locked up. I was thinking they went into Luthez mode. But, two of the biggest athletes on planet Earth, and y'all locking up. I dug it.
He is, he's doing really well for himself. Just an incredible athlete. You know, has a long way to go, but, you know, if he keeps his head right, he's going to be a player.
He's catching it, though.
Yeah, he gets a little bit better every day. He doesn't make the same mistake twice. So, you know, it's not easy being in that position. You know, it's you got to bring a game.
Dude, I was sitting there buying a little bit of time waiting for your big ass to come down here to the set, and I was thinking about doing a run-in. Impromptu. Hit the glass, run in.
I know. I saw you.
Start throwing knuckle sandwiches.
About that.
Oh, dude, that's the worst kayfabe in the history of the business.
What?
Hey, let me.
That's pretty damn good.
Dude, that's good. That's a tasty beverage.
Yes, that is an excellent
Shades of
beverage.
Pulp Fiction. How you feeling right now?
Other than being blowed up, because I actually blew up running down the hall to get here. I was fine in the match. I blew up on the 100-yard dash to get here.
But you just came from a tour of Germany, and I want to get to a couple of stories from when you and I were working together in Germany.
I was up for 37 hours before I finally got some sleep. So
why didn't you go to sleep?
Can't sleep on the planes. I'm too big. It just doesn't work anymore. I'm just some genius at the airline company decided to make business class seats, and they figured if we make them smaller and cover them in leather, we can put more in there, and then we can sell them at a higher price. However, I just don't fit.
Dude, you can't sleep on an airplane?
No. Doesn't happen. Can't do it in this class.
I'll talk to you when we get off camera. Hey, dude, after going through Germany, going through here tonight, y'all had a great house here tonight.
Fantastic. It's like the old days when you were on top. I remember when you used to sell this out, no comps on a house show.
Okay, but let's don't talk about me. Let's talk about you. After all these years in the business, you got what, 20 years? 20
years. Yeah.
Is this still fun for you?
Absolutely, man. That's why I do it. I mean, I've done everything I can do at my stage as a giant, as a performer. I've had championships. I've won them all. Been fortunate enough to compete against the greatest names this business has ever seen and some of the future greats. Right? And I have fun every day I go to work.
But you love it like you still did. I mean,
I love it.
The business has changed. Talk to me about just how the in-ring product has changed.
Well, the in-ring product has changed. The one thing that kills me about our business has changed, and I know you'll probably agree with me on this, I miss the old tag teams when a babyface could make a comeback on two heels at the same time. Backdrop, clothesline, hip toss. You had babyface waiting in the corner all night to get that hot tag, and when he got that hot tag, everybody in the building got their ass whooped. I think because we've tried to modify our product and, quote, give the referee credibility, which in my opinion, who cares if the referee's got credibility or not? Heels should be heels, babyface should be babyfaces, let the babyface make a comeback. Everybody's happy. You know, but now you get a lot of situations where the comebacks aren't like they used to because they can't be executed like that. That's what I miss.
Yeah, you're hot about it.
Well, I am a little hot about it. I mean, that's the thing. The difference. Like, here's the thing now. Like, now our business is very nice and polite. It's very polite.
Okay, well, how polite is this? Because I sent out a tweet on Steve Austin BS on my Twitter account.
Yeah,
I follow you. You follow me. I know.
Yeah. Do you
so
follow
I said,
me?
hey, man, if you got questions, I follow you, big ass.
I don't think you replied to my direct message.
No, I didn't. Swig of beer. So my question is, I sent a lot of a tweet out from people sending me questions to ask you. I got enough of myself, and you and I have done this before. I could talk to you all night long, but one of the questions
I try to talk to you backstage. You don't even act like you're like, who are you? And I'm like, man, Big Show. We were friends.
We got to save it. I did that with Triple H. I talked to him way too long before I talked to him in Denver, and all of a sudden, you know, I was like, dude, we burned everything out.
Yeah.
One of the questions that people sent in to me was, Big Show, please retire. That's not the response I thought you were going to get mad about that.
No.
What do you think when you hear that?
I think that is most of the people that do that are in the arenas of people trying to have fun, be a part of the show. Some of those that take it seriously really don't understand what our product's about because they don't understand what I'm actually doing for our product, what I actually do for the younger talent. I get the tweets too, oh, step aside, you're killing all the younger talent. Hey, dumbass, I've maybe won 8 matches in the past 2 years. How in the hell am I killing off all the talent? Yeah. I don't do anything but I've had more turns than NASCAR. Why have I had more turns than NASCAR? Okay, well, we got a baby face we need to get over. Okay, who can do it? Show can do it. Oh, well, you know what? We're running out of baby faces. They're injured. Well, Show's been around for a long time. He smiles. He likes the kids. He's a good guy. Show's a baby face. He knows how to sell. I am universally able to switch back and forth. I've got tenure. I've been here a while. But I also help the younger guys as far as in-ring timing, developing their characters, developing their presence in the ring, and how to, get along in this business when it's not a good day. It's easy to have a great attitude in this business when you're winning matches every night and you're working on top. Having a good attitude and staying successful in this business when you don't win matches and you're not working on top, that's the true test of your passion, how much you love it. Because if you're passionate about it, you're still coming to work having fun every day. It's not real.
But how many more years do you think you got in the tank? In a perfect world, barring injuries, because anything could happen. 2.
2 years.
Because I was like that, and people start sending those emails. It's like, hey, please retire, ask him this, that, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
My point is like, hey, man, because last time I checked, they still sending those gimmicks they send in the mail called bills. The man don't pay his bills, they're going to turn off his electricity. Man don't pay his bills, they're going to turn off his H2O. Man don't pay his bills, then they're going to repossess his car. They're going to take his house. then his wife going to be mad.
And there's
that's
no
gonna be
Copenhagen.
hard times. That's when he got those hard time blues, Daddy.
That's it. I'm dying in
and
the
then what's
alley.
the WWE supposed to do? And they're supposed to, like, hang you watch, kicking ass, and say, hey, a computer just took your place, Daddy. Swig a beer for that. That's what I'm talking about.
I got to kayfabe.
All right, dude. Let's move on. Let's get into some serious stuff.
No, I'm not going to retire anytime soon. Barring injuries, I love what I do every day, and I think if you took an honest consensus poll of all the guys I work with, they're very happy to have me here.
All right, here's the thing. I've known you. When was the first time we met?
We met in 1995. You had just come back from Japan. You tore your tricep.
Okay.
I said hi to you and you told me to piss off.
But that's who I was, right?
No, you weren't.
I'm a nice
You're a
guy.
gentleman, too. You're a nice guy. Yeah.
But anyway, my point is, when we started hitting it off, I mean, we talked about, we drank beer together, we've done everything together. We talk wrestling. We talk about life.
Right.
But I never once said, hey, dude, what's it like to be a giant?
Right.
Because, you know, we're the guys, I'm going to say, what's it like to be a giant? I want to take this time now to let you share your story about, dude, when you're 5 years old, you weighed 100 pounds.
Yeah, I broke 100 pounds at 5 years old, and it was very hard for me because, like most people, you associate weight with health. So I remember being upset at 5 years old. I weighed 100 pounds. I think I was almost 5 foot tall. I think I was like 4'11" or almost 5 foot tall at 5. And you could see my ribs. I had a square head, square shoulders. Well, that's me at 3.
Right.
So I was cute, wasn't I? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, be that little kid set the carpet in the living room on
But
fire.
dude, when you're 5 years old,
There's the smart aleck me.
When you're 100 pounds, I mean, like, are people already like?
Well, the problem was growing up is other parents, when I got bigger, were afraid to let me play with their kids. I mean, at 12, I was 6'2", 220. So if you're outside and we're playing touch football and it looks like the town mongoloids out there with your kids, you go rescue your kids. Next thing you know, I'm standing out in the field all by myself.
There's a college dude out there playing with the 9-year-olds.
What's that big pedophile doing out there? Get him away from my kid. No, I was the same age.
Okay, but going through your childhood at 9 years of
That's
age.
13 years old. That's 6'7", 235.
Clean.
Eating chicken breasts every day.
At 9 years old, you were diagnosed with acromegaly.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, for the fans out there, define what that means.
Acromegaly is otherwise known as giantism. It's a tumor on the pituitary gland that, and the pituitary gland is located, if you were to do the geometry on it, if you went straight through the nose and straight through the ear canal, where those points intersect under the front lobe of your brain is the pituitary gland pocket. Pituitary gland runs a lot of your hormonal functions, testosterone, estrogen, tear ducts, nasal moisture. It's a very important gland. Growth hormone also. That tumor can affect your growth hormone and make you secrete too much. Like normal growth hormone for a young man, teenager, growing is 0 to 5, whatever the term is, milligrams or whatever it is. Mine was at 91.
91.
So I was, just growing like a weed, eating. I think that's me as a senior in high school. And the guy on the left right there in the middle is actually 6'4". He's a former Army guy. And the guy with the crew cut is 6'1", and the guy on the other end is like 6'1", 6'2". So that's a football team.
Okay, but let me ask you this. At 9 years of age, the doctor says, hey, dude, you got acromegaly.
I didn't know what knew.
Okay, but all of a sudden you get this news dropped on you.
I got the news dropped on me when I was like 19 years old in college.
Oh, 19?
19.
I got my facts wrong.
No, your facts are right. They figured I developed the tumor at 9.
Okay.
But I didn't know about it till I was 19.
Oh.
Yeah, because for me, I always thought it was like, I always thought I had, I had God-given athletic ability, God-given strength. Hey, I remember being 9 years old, and it was funny. You always got to remember what you wish for because you just might get it.
Right.
I remember hanging on remember the metal clothesline poles, the T ones? I remember hanging on one on my 9th birthday, praying to God that I would be 7 feet tall and big and strong. And, because that's, what do you know? Right. You're watching He-Man cartoons. Yeah. That's what you want to be. And this is what I got. I can't fit in airplane seats, and I bump my head every time I turn around.
The Steve Austin Show. The Steve Austin Show.
Hi, I'm Jessie Prey.
And I'm Andy Cassette. If you're captivated by true crime stories that delve deep into the complexities of love and betrayal, Love Murder is your next binge.
Each week, we present long-form narrative episodes backed by meticulous research, exploring cases where passion leads to peril.
Take, for instance, Blanche Taylor Moore, a seemingly devout preacher's wife who concealed a deadly secret. leaving a trail of poisoned partners.
Or the tragic tale of Chad Shelton and Dwayne Johnson, whose sudden deaths unveiled a web of familial deceit and revenge.
These aren't just stories. They're deep dives into the human psyche and the dark side of love.
Join us on Love Murder as we uncover the chilling narratives of love gone fatally wrong.
Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform.
Steve Austin, Unleashed.
Since I've met you, I mean, you're one of the funniest guys in the business.
Thank you, sir.
Did you? I'm a pretty funny guy myself, I'd like to think. But I kind of developed my sense of humor because, dude, I was a super shy kid.
Really?
Oh, dude, well, growing up,
you were shy?
Dude, my sister would have to order my food at Dairy Queen because I was too embarrassed to talk to the lady or the dude on the phone. So I think it's kind of the way I developed my sense of humor. And I'm just guessing your self-deprecating style, I'm thinking you did to disarm people or unintimidate people.
To unintimidate, because, I mean, I've always had that factor when I walk. People take a look, they take a breath, they stand back. I'm naturally a very nice person. I'm not a mean person. I like people, I like kids, I love animals. I developed a self-deprecating sense of humor and a quick wit and a personality to show that people, hey, I'm not going to tear your head off and eat out of your skull. I'm a nice person. Yeah. It's okay. You don't have to chase me out of town with pitchforks and torches. I'm really a nice person. You know, so, I mean, that's funny. You shy. You're the most direct, in-your-face son of a bitch I've ever met in my life. You were, that blows my mind. You went to college on football scholarship, didn't you?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, well, let's go back to you, but you played basketball at Wichita State.
Yeah, but
now,
dude,
I'm thinking
I can
get
hit the three deep, though. That's what I play. I mean,
but I'm thinking,
raindrops.
No, dude, but they recruited you and you played there.
Yeah.
But it was after your basketball career that you decided to have the surgery on the pituitary gland?
No, I actually found out my sophomore year of college at Wichita State. I played 1 year at Northern Oklahoma Junior College in Tonkawa. Went to Wichita State, and it was just probably one of the worst years of my life.
Why?
I mean, the whole year started off bad. I lost my grandfather on the summer before I started school, and my grandpa and I were really close. And found out I had this tumor. It was really bad, so I had to have that surgery, which put me behind going into preseason, trying to get ready to play. And so I struggled a little bit learning their offense and getting together. And the coach had a lot of faith in it at the time. The coach they had was Coach Cohen, who was recruited me out of high school. He was the only coach I wanted to play for. I mean, I turned down Indiana. I turned down a lot of D1 schools to go play for this coach because I liked Coach Cohen a lot. He just, when I had my surgery, he was there in Minnesota on his own dime just to make sure I came out of the operating room all right. You know, and he was a good man. Wichita State had different ideas for the program, and they let him go halfway through the season. So here's a guy you spent 3 years with that, you know, this guy is going to help make you the player you want to be. Now he's gone. They let him finish out the season, but, you know, this guy's devastated. He's finishing our job, and he knows I'm out of a job. My father had gotten his cancer had come back, and it got real bad, and I quit playing at Wichita State. I left Wichita State, and it was just a really rough time.
But you got...
Yeah, there's my dad there. How about that? That was right towards the end there, and he was pretty sick there.
Well, was it all the bad times going along with the changes in your body after the surgery?
It could have been. I mean, I haven't seen that picture in years. Jesus. Wow, you
hit a low spot there.
It was...
you hit a real low spot.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah. I don't know where you found that picture. That's a good... I was living in a house that an ex-girlfriend's grandmother had passed away. And it was a home built in World War II for factory workers. And it was one step in the kitchen, one step in the bedroom, very small house. I had a couch that was a sleeper, but the sleeper I had crushed cardboard boxes and the cushions on top of it. I was working at a nightclub. I quit playing basketball. I didn't have any money. In my bedroom, I remember with my head on the wall, I could tap the wall in the bedroom. I had $6, but I had to save the $6 to Monday to put gas in the car to drive for another job opportunity. So I'm sitting in the house, and I'm cleaning a .357 Ruger for a friend of mine. He hadn't shot it in a while, and I was cleaning it. He was going to give me $20 to reblue it and stuff, you know. He gave me all the stuff to do it. I remember it was a really low point, and I cleaned it, did everything. I spun the cylinder, pulled the hammer back, and put it in my head and pulled the trigger. And I said, okay, now I'm dead. What would I have missed out on? And I had to do it for a mental reset, because everything just was so dark, and I'm not a dark person. And a few weeks after that, I met this guy, and he introduced me to my hairstyle.
So then,
I met.
But that, first of all, nobody ever do that. How did that affect you? You kicked out.
It was an immediate slap in the face for me. I mean, there wasn't any rounds in the weapon. It was a completely theoretical. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Okay. Exactly.
And I kicked out. I got out. I got a job opportunity. And that job opportunity actually was I worked for a guy named Jimmy Strouser, who owned Jesco Karaoke, who became a really good friend of mine, who bought out all of Rent-A-Center's karaoke equipment.
Right.
And that Monday was me putting gas in my car to drive to the warehouse to, hey, I'll help load trucks for cash if you need any help. And he gave me $50 a day to load these tractor-trailer trucks, which was plenty of money for me. It's food on the table.
Right.
And then I worked for him for 4 days. We became best friends, and I moved to Chicago, and he's the one that became my mouthpiece. Like, he tried to get me a tryout with the Bears and then wound up talking to WCW for me.
So then how did you get in the business?
I got in the business through a crazy turn of events. Danny Bonaducci out of Chicago was running a morning drive radio station, and he would have contestants come in and sing on the air. So it's kind of like American Idol before American Idol. Because some people were fantastic, and some people were god-awful. And then people would call in. Well, my buddy was the one running the karaoke equipment. So Danny had a charity basketball game at a Chicago Wolves CBA halftime with Hulk Hogan and Mr. T against Danny Bonaducci and his secret partner. Well, Danny knew that I played ball at Wichita State and knew that I was trying to get into business, because back then there wasn't schools and developmental centers. It was, you had to know somebody, territories, somebody had to put in a good word for you, and then you get in the door. And it was that's how I met. That's how I got started. I met Hogan in Chicago.
So what Hogan tell you? I mean, dude, you take a look at you.
I did the worst thing I could have ever done for any wrestlers. I did an impersonation to start off the bat, which could have gone one or two ways. It could have went really good or really bad, right?
Yeah.
So,
dude, you got a good Hulk Hogan impersonation.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. I've been to the top of the mountain, dude. So what you gonna do when the largest pythons in the world run wild on you, brother? So I did that, and he just looked at me and went. And then I'm thinking, I just shit the bed.
I killed it all.
I'm done.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, back to answering phones. Hello, this is Jesco.
Meanwhile, he's got dollar signs in his head.
That's what he says. He goes, kid, you got a dollar sign on your forehead. And I said, well, please show it to me, because I is broke. And
please help me.
Please.
Okay, so who trained you?
I was trained, even though he'll deny it to the day he dies, for obvious reasons, but I was trained by Triple H. Yeah. And Terry Taylor. I tell everybody, and Hunter comes up and says, dude, don't tell people that I trained you. You're killing
my gimmick
You're killing my gimmick. Don't tell people I trained you.
One of the greatest in-ring generals of all time. You're killing my gimmick off.
You're killing my. I don't want anybody to know that had anything to do with you.
Okay, you've got two very technically sound, scientific guys who wrestle and do what's your training process, because I understand they had some interesting drills to bring up your cardio.
I think it was the funny thing is the one thing that was always important in this business stressed me. Got to have cardio. Got to have cardio. Got to have cardio. And it's pretty tough when you see somebody like Jack Briscoe or Harley Race smoke a Marlboro Light and go out there and do an hour. It's like, well, how much cardio do you need? Well,
let me jump in, because people don't pay there to watch you lay on a mat in a squared circle and huff and puff because you're out of shape.
No.
Continue what they do.
Exactly. They would blow me sky high every day. I would literally, those guys rode me so hard that I, how do you explain
But they literally rode you.
Oh, yeah. I would get one and they would ride me and try to choke me out until I turned it around on one. And then as soon as I turned around, the other one was there. So they were constantly in and out, and I couldn't get off my feet. I had to fight from my back up to my feet, up to my knees. If I got up to my knees and got them down, then the other guy was on me.
Right.
And it was like that for an hour straight, hour and a half straight, which is good because they were taking breaks in between. Dude, I'm seeing stars. I mean, I went to pee one time and the snot came out. So it was like I was so dehydrated and blowed up that, it was great for me.
Right.
That was a really gross analogy, but that's what happened.
But with Triple H and Terry, training you.
I got kids here a second.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
They were also in your ear giving you advice.
Advice.
And I think they saw dollar signs on you.
Well, the one thing I'm thankful for, Terry Taylor was very kind to me, and so was Hunter, because I kind of had the right attitude. I didn't come in like, oh, I'm the Holtz boy, I'm going to do this. I came in wanting to learn. I was a fan of the business before I got into it. I have my favorites. Arn Anderson, to me, is the greatest heel of all time. I love Double A.
I do too.
He cut promos, in-ring technician like nobody's business, and I'm happy to say that now he's one of my dearest friends and mentors.
But those two guys actually said, hey, man, maybe you shouldn't go up to the WCW main roster and ride out your contract, because you was getting paid good dough to go through the training camp. Yeah, they said, hey, haul ass to WWE.
Yeah, that was the thing. Like, Hunter was going up to WWE before me. He had his little run there and knew that, the place wasn't run the way it should be run. And he had a lot more experience than I did. He'd done his different territories than what he'd done. And I was just like, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm learning. I mean, this is more money than I've ever seen in my life. It does. If I finish out my contract here, which I'll tell you a little story now, it was the best decision I ever made, because I got a phone call after Halloween Havoc from Jim Ross. After I did the Halloween Havoc match with Hulk, my phone rang at home, and that's after Terry made me wear the title through the airport in Detroit to let everybody know there's a new champ. Did I tell you that?
No, but tell me about the call you got from Jim Ross.
Well, Jim Ross called me and offered me double what WCW was paying me.
How long were you into that contract?
8 months.
So there ain't no way out.
There's no way out without breaching it. But he called and asked me. I said, Jim, because he knows a lot of the same people I know, and he's being an aggressive businessman. But I also think Jim was future booking on counting my character.
Right.
And I said, I really want to honor the contract that I've signed here. I kind of gave my word. But when this contract ends, I'll be happy to talk with you if you still want to talk to me then.
Right.
Which was, in our business, the greatest business decision you ever do. Because if you screw somebody else on a contract, you'll screw anybody. Yeah. So that showed WWE that, okay, this kid gives his word, it's integrity, it's good. So it didn't hurt me.
But how influential was Hulk Hogan in your decision as well? You're making good money, but, he's got to be in your ear. He's been a big influence on your whole career in your life.
He was a mainstay that told me all the time, that especially when, about a year and a half before WCW really started to go, like, he's that guy that he could see the way the wind's blowing because he's been around a long time. He says, if you want to be a star, go to New York. Vince McMahon will make you a star. And that's the old word for going to WWE. You go to New York, Vince will make you a star.
Okay, let's get back to that a little bit later, because was it not your very first match that you beat Hulk Hogan for the World Heavyweight Championship?
He wanted to put me on the mat. Originally, my match was scheduled, if you believe this, was a one-match deal. If I did good, they'd keep me. If I didn't, the hell with it, they'd get rid of me. They need an opponent for Hogan. He was their big deal there.
Yeah.
And they figured, if we can get him a pay-per-view, get him a buy rate, that's good. And if the kid turns out good, if not, we'll cancel his contract and get rid of him. I was lucky enough to do well enough, and Hogan wanted to make a statement. And he told me that night, he says, I'm going to do something unheard of. He says, you're going to walk out of here tonight with the World Heavyweight Championship, and I'm going to put you on the map.
Okay, let me ask you about getting put on the map, because everybody gets in this business because if you're a singles wrestler, you want to be the World Heavyweight Champion.
Right.
All of a sudden, you are.
Right.
Okay, with that comes pressure and responsibility and the performance aspect of it. So, hey, it's great. In your first match, you beat the immortal Hulk Hogan to become the world champion. All of a sudden, you got the gold. Did you think from here on out it's going to be easy? Hey, I won the world championship on my first go.
Close.
What the hell did you think? Because, again, you're talking about putting asses in seats.
If you would have put a piece of coal at my ass, I'd have made you a diamond. I was terrified out of my mind. I was so wound up on not knowing what to do with myself.
So you weren't marked out. You were truly petrified.
I was truly petrified because I knew what this business was about. I knew what that championship signified. I knew the responsibility that was put on me, but I had no idea how to handle it because I had no idea what to expect. It's like somebody giving you a gun and telling you to go do this. You know what this weapon represents. You know what you can do with it.
Right.
But you have no idea what to do with it. And that's what that championship is. That championship is a weapon to pull tickets in, to fill seats with asses, to draw money for your fellow coworkers, and they're looking to you to do that.
Okay, that being said, how did that championship win go over in the locker room? Because here comes a new dude. He's a giant. Now he's a champion.
I think it was fine with the guys that were established. And you got to understand, I was youngest guy there by 12 years than anybody. I think Sting was maybe 34 when I was 23. Okay, so he was the closest guy I might. It was me and Alex Wright. But all those guys were seasoned, and Arn and Rick and all those guys were pulling for me. They weren't intimidated. They all wanted Macho, Randy, all of them were pulling for me because they saw that I had potential, saw that I was a crazy athlete, and they weren't against it because their pay wasn't affected whether 5 people showed up, whether it got sold out, because that was that Turner deal. It wasn't the Shark Tank that WWE was.
Right.
I mean, when I first got that title from Hogan, he says, brother, now you got to let everybody know there's a new champion. Tomorrow when you go through the airport, you got to wear the title through the airport.
So you did?
Oh, my God, yeah. I wore it.
You bought that hook, line, and sinker?
I wore it so proud.
Yeah.
And then what made it worse is all the guys like Steiners and all those son of bitches. Yeah. Hey, champ, Jim Duggan. Hey, champ, thumbs up. Hey, champ. And I'm walking through just proud as a peacock, walking through the metal detector. I take it off, lay it on the belt. I'm strapping it back on the other side of the metal. Everybody's calling me champ. I can't even. Sting comes over. We had the blonde crew cut and the razor shades back then, you know.
Yeah.
He was cool. He comes over and he goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm wearing the championship. Hope told me to wear the championship. Everybody knows there's a new champion. He says, put the belt away. You look like a damn idiot. And he walked off, and I was like, oh, they're making fun of me.
Who gave you that heads up?
Sting.
Sting. Let me give a shout out right here to this camera right here to the WWE Network out there that's watching this podcast. I'm talking with a Big Show. That's straight up Jabroni-ville. You don't wear your championship, whether you heel or baby, through the damn airport. And so you took it literally.
I took it literally, yes. I thought he was serious because I thought, you know, that everyone would want it. I mean, I'm the champion. I'm proud of it. I might have been a little bit Markville, maybe. You know, possibly.
This is the Steve Austin Show.
Hi, I'm Jessie Prey.
And I'm Andy Cassette. If you're captivated by true crime stories that delve deep into the complexities of love and betrayal, Love Murder is your next binge.
Each week, we present long-form narrative episodes backed by meticulous research, exploring cases where passion leads to peril.
Take, for instance, Blanche Taylor Moore, a seemingly devout preacher's wife who concealed a deadly secret, leaving a trail of poisoned partners.
Or the tragic tale of Chad Shelton and Dwayne Johnson, whose sudden deaths unveiled a web of familial deceit and revenge.
These aren't just stories. They're deep dives into the human psyche and the dark side of love.
Join us on Love Murder as we uncover the chilling narratives of love gone fatally wrong.
Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcast platform.
Steve Austin. Unleashed.
Carrying the belt around, how long did you have the belt your first go-around?
I think a week.
Where did you lose this illustrious title?
It was taken away from me due to the fact that I didn't really pin Hulk Hogan at Halloween Havoc. I merely helped beat him up with the Yeti and then stole it. So the title was put in contention for the World War III, 3-ring, 60-man Battle Royal Mayhem.
All right, so what year was this?
95, October of 95.
October 95. And then we're about to start getting cranked up into the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah, that started a little bit, I think Luger in October had come to Minnesota for Monday Night Nitro. The first Nitro, Lex Luger showed up in Minnesota at the mall. That was the first Nitro in October. Like, I don't remember the specific date on it, but I remember then we went to Halloween Havoc, and then we had that whole I was involved with the Dungeon of Doom stuff and running with Hogan and Savage, and the Monday Night Wars really started picking up after that.
So you left WCW at what year?
I left WCW in 99, I think, February 99.
So you were there when it was on, the gloves were off.
Oh, yeah.
It was hot and heavy competition.
You guys, Triple H and them were outside with the tank. And,
yeah. How did that go over? What did you think about that?
I thought it was hysterical. I want to go out
you got to give people credit when they do good stuff.
I wanted to go out and say hi to Hunter, but I couldn't because I'd have got heat for it. And I remember Bischoff was running around and talking about he was going to challenge Vince to a fight. And,
yeah.
And I remember Terry telling me on the side, he says, I don't think he wants to do that. Vince is crazy. Vince would tear his eyeball out, And
yeah.
we're like, these two going to fight? Like, what is going on here? It was
insane.
insane.
When they went down there and did that was so, because they were very edgy. I was busy doing my thing, but that was totally off the charts. And, dude, it was a physical thing. My point is, you were there when WCW, at its peak, when WCW was kicking our ass.
Right.
And then you come over here to the WWE when we're kicking their ass.
Yeah.
But you were in the mix the whole time on both sides as they, were doing the best business, the most lucrative piece of business in the history of pro wrestling / sports entertainment.
Well, what changed it was Hall and Nash coming to WCW.
Right.
They shook up Monday Night Raw and changed the whole dynamic.
How big was that? Because
enormous.
That shook up the whole business. It changed the whole way the boys were paid.
Well, it changed the whole way the boys were paid. It changed how business was done. It changed the heel babyface relationship. I mean, I remember Scott Hall, the first thing when he first introduced himself, I didn't know Scott's a smartass.
Right.
He comes up to me and he goes, "Hey man, Scott Hall, nice to meet you. Make sure you tuck your chin on my finish." And I looked at him, I said, what the F did you just say to me?
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking. But I was like,
you're in tough guy mode.
Hey, this is the way it goes. Who are you talking to? And then I saw how they went. And it's funny is I saw the locker room change too, because WCW was very easy when I first started there. Everybody played gin. Everybody played chess or dominoes.
Are you kidding me?
It was easy.
Everybody playing gin and dominoes?
Yeah.
During the Monday Night Wars?
No, until Scott and Kevin got there.
Okay.
Then when they got there, guys are panicking and doing push-ups and going to the gym a little bit more and getting serious about their angles. And nobody wanted to be a babyface to work against them because Hall and Nash were cooler. They talked better on the mic. They were more real. And a lot of the gimmick guys couldn't deal with it. They didn't know how to deal without, if you don't put my gimmick over, how the hell do I survive?
Right.
It's kind of like that time in the Garden with you and Rock, and I came in last in the Madison Square Garden. I'm so excited to be in a triple threat with you two, and you two jackasses look at me, rub my ears, and go, and I go, that's all I got, guys. That's kind of messed up.
that was a
couple of mean
another
tricks.
rib.
Couple of mean guys right there.
You weren't new to the business that time, but you're new to WWE.
I was new to WWE.
Hold on, I want to go back that. I want to go back that. What was the difference between the way the two companies were run during the Monday Night Wars? Because you got here during both of it. Don't spit liquid on me.
No, sir, I will not. I'm not a beer
Was it just like
completely different
chaos over there?
And WCW wasn't chaos, but there really wasn't anyone in charge. Hogan had intellectual control over his contract. Right. Hall and Nash won the same thing. They had favored nations, so they were crushing it. They would bring in Rodman and Bret Hart and all these other guys, and Goldberg got a better contract. So the other guys made all this money, and Scott and Kevin were such smart businessmen, their contracts kept escalating, and then they didn't want to do as much as they needed to.
Right.
So the attitude got very, very sour.
Is morale bad?
Morale got terrible. It went from a very fun place to work to everybody was like a bunch of vicious dogs in the corner snapping at each other.
You come over to WWE, what is your perception of the way that was run?
The one thing I saw was that everybody here was very professional, but everybody here was so hungry to have the best match on the card. And that's the thing that was the most intimidating thing that I had ever seen, because I'd been in WCW for 3 years. I was a little bit established as a giant. I was at the right place at the right time, negotiated a very good contract for myself, which also got me some heat up here, which is, I totally understand it. Who's this new son of a bitch coming in trying to trying to take my spot, my payday, F him. I don't know him. He's going to have to earn it. He's going to have to prove it to me, and I just realized how just intense. And you were so intense back then and so good at what you did in the ring. And I don't knock that. I think for me it was awe-inspiring to see somebody and see you and Taker and Hunter and Rock and you guys operate at that tempo every night and dare each other to be better. I dare you to have a better reaction than I did. I dare you to have a better match than I did. It was overwhelming. I
always figured that WWE, it was at the time, was the big leagues. Even when at whatever point it was, when Hogan and them went down there, I mean, still, in my eyes, WWE was still the big show, no pun intended. Why did you think, okay, my run here is over, it's time to go to the big leagues, or is the grass greener on the other side? Why did you decide after your success there, hey, pull up stakes and go do something new?
I listened to what Terry told me. I had about a year and a half left, and he told me, I think it was on my birthday, like a year before.
And Terry's a seasoned veteran. I watched that guy going back when his Bill Watts days, a hell of a damn hand, and he helped me as well, too, and mentored Triple H. So, and that's sound advice.
He said, if you want to be a star, he said, this place is going to eat itself alive in a couple of years. And he knew it like 4 or 5 years before it closed down.
Right.
He said, what you need to do is if you want to be a star, you go to New York, and you'll learn how to be a star there. And Vince will make you a star.
I got a story for you. Do you remember your debut in the WWE?
With you?
Yes. St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Yes, where you were like 900 pounds and I tried to throw you through the cage.
Now, get this. I'm working with Vince, right? Mm-hmm. And you come up to the bottom of the Matt, come through. And, dude, here's the thing. You throw me at this footage. Watch this. Just watch this. Now I'm going to fly for you. Oh, there it is. Oh, no. But watch, he throws me so hard. This is shoot. Dude, I was going to hand those bumps up for you a little bit like Rock, but you literally shoved me so hard. I mean, dude, it's like a bear. Watch it. This is why I win the match here.
I like it.
They keep this, you can see this. Watch his mouth. Much extra can see. Okay, they cut it off, but I was giving you the what for. That was all in character. My point is, when we saw the size of the dude, give me this camera right here. Dude, it's like working with the frickin' grizzly bear. This son of a gun grabbed me by the back, scruff of my neck, and threw me in that damn cage. I was going to work for you and give you the big sell like Rock used to take my stunner, but you threw me with such force.
What's funny is Vince told me to sling or else you wouldn't sell it.
Did I have a reputation for not selling?
Well, Vince told me, he says, look, you got to go out there and manhandle him or he won't sell it.
Well, God dang, you manhandled me, damn near killed me and broke my neck.
I didn't break your neck.
No, but I mean, I was trying to get you over.
I was trying to protect you. I want to show the Stone Cold character was strong.
Well, I'll tell you what, you ain't going to get hot about it. Son of a gun. I
know the last time I made you hot is when I pulled your trunks up.
Well, I want to get that story in a minute.
Okay.
I want to know, because I was doing my own thing at the time. I was lone wolf. What was your...
You were always dressed in like some electrical closet somewhere, bro. You were amazing.
What was your transition like to the WWE locker room? Because I know you weren't really well received.
Oh, it was brutal. I mean, Hunter was a good friend of mine, but I had too much heat for him to even say hi to. He'd kind of say hi to me when no one was around. Right. Taker was cool to me, but Taker took me under his wing and was cool, and also he was very hard on me and very direct, which I think.
Direct in what way?
Directing, like right there. He's probably cussing me out because I did something wrong or I'm about to do something wrong. He used to wait for me in the curtain when I came back from my matches, and sometimes I'd try to go side ramp and ditch him, and he'd be there waiting on me. He'd have that crooked finger, the one with the torn tendon, and he'd do that, and he'd pull on the goatee, and it was either the way I sold, I didn't keep my head up, or the way I fed, or I didn't open myself up, make myself bigger, or I need to work on my cardio, or whatever it was. He poured so much knowledge in me that, quite frankly, dude, I didn't deserve it. I didn't. But I'm so blessed and thankful that he gave me that time, and I was smart enough to learn from it. But I can remember being in a rental car and thinking, my God, if I drove my car off a bridge, I don't think anybody would give a shit. They absolutely hate me up there.
Speaking of hating you, I didn't hate you, but I hated when you pulled.
You were business. You were never, ever, ever mean to me, but you were business.
But one time you pulled my trunks up my ass when we was working. We used to go to.
No. Let me preface this story. No, I'm going to preface this story.
Go ahead.
You're not going to paint yourself as a good guy. I'm working with him for 2 weeks in Europe.
We go for a week in Germany, a week in UK.
Right. So I'm working with him so that I can sit there and try to be a big man to get ready for Brock, right? I think I was doing that. Get me ready for Brock. You were supposed to help bring me up to speed. And every night he beats the ever-loving crap out of me for 15, 16 minutes straight, hits me with a stunner, goes home. I don't get nothing. Nothing.
He's
over in the corner giving me the freaking boots. He doesn't give me shit. Nothing.
So what happened?
We get to TV in London. We're doing the dark match, advertised dark main event. And Vince comes over to Steve and he says, and meanwhile, I got Fit Finley and Johnny Laurinaitis kicking the crap out of me every afternoon, telling me I need to fire up. And Fit's kicking me pretty hard. Joe, you're a giant. You got to fire up. You got to fire up. Steve's not going to respect you if you don't fire up. And he's kicking me so hard, I'm ready to kick his ass.
So what happened?
So Vince comes up to you and says, Steve.
This ain't the trunk story?
Yeah, this is it.
Okay.
I'm telling the whole story.
Okay.
Come on, man. You know a match, beginning, middle, and end.
Okay.
All right. So Vince says to Steve, he says, Steve, tonight maybe you could slip Big Show over and get him going. And Steve Austin does this. Spits in his cup. Goes, goddamn, Vince. These people paid a lot of fucking money to see Stone Cold Steve Austin hit a few stunners and drink a few beers. They didn't pay to see him do a job to the damn Big Show. I'm standing right there. And I
didn't talk behind your back, did I?
No. I'm like, does he think this is real or something? What's wrong with this dude? I mean, does he have that little respect for me? So the Vince is like, let me talk to him. Now, meanwhile, Vince goes over in the bleachers to talk with Steve, who's drawing more people than anybody, selling more merch, killing pay-per-view buys, and then there's me, who still hasn't got his act together yet. So I see Vince doing this and Steve doing this, and then about 30 seconds later, they're both laughing and hugging. I know the writing on the wall. Vince comes over and goes, well, Steve's got a point. So tonight I want you to give him a hell of a match. You got to get aggressive in there. You got to get aggressive. And now my feelings are hurt. So I'm a little sour. I'm like, I don't know what, this guy doesn't call anything for me. I mean, he's a veteran. He's supposed to call spots for me. What am I supposed to do? Just take over? So we get in the match. I bump Steve out to the floor. I go out to the floor to get him. To throw him back in the ring, I mistimed it. When I did, I hauled his trunks up his lily white buttocks. Because Steve tans, but he doesn't tan nude.
Here's the thing. When you're the hottest babyface in the world, and you're cool, and you got a couple of leg braces on, and I got, like you said, a lily white ass, when you yank my trunks off my ass, you're killing my gimmick off. I got to protect my gimmick. Yeah. So, anyway, you pull my trunks up my ass.
You get in the ring. I slide in the ring after it. He stands up and goes, bam, 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 right here on the gym. Off the tights, you big son of a bitch. And I
straight up shoot.
I lost it. I grabbed him by the face, picked him up, ran him across the corner of the turnbuckle, bent him over, and I went, you son of a bitch. I was so mad. He looks at me and goes, there you go, kid, way to fire up. So then it clicked. Everything he came out to with, I know so that I cut him off. I beat the crap out of him. I threw him, slung him, hammered him. Finally, out of nowhere, boom, he hits me with a stunner. I'm like, okay, well, that's his finish. Game's over. He goes to cover me. He goes, kick out. Oh, okay. I kicked out on 2. Get up. I got up. Bam, he hit me with another stunner. Covers me. Kick out. Get up. You hit me with 7 stunners. And every time you hit me with a stunner, it got louder and louder. And you sold every time you hit me with one. You had that look of, I'm shooting this guy point blank with a .44 Magnum. What is it going to take to drop him? And everybody in that place was screaming, is this the one that's going to do it? And when they hit 3, it's still to this day one of the loudest 3 counts I've ever remembered getting beat by. But it taught me a lot. That one match changed my entire career, psychology-wise, because I'm a damn giant. I don't have to wait for somebody to give me anything. I sell as much as I want to, as much as I need to, and change it when I have to.
Okay, that being said, and that's a great story. And that's pretty much a huge story.
You changed my entire career that one night.
But over the course of your career.
Over your lily white buttocks.
Over the course of your career. No, we got 10 minutes left.
God.
Dude, one of the questions that people emailed in to me, damn, big show, and you alluded to it early on in the podcast. You flipped over 30 times in your career in WWE.
Is that how many times I flipped?
No, it was over 30.
Wow.
So, I mean, it's like, and you said it, I think it's to facilitate whatever needs to be done.
Right.
But what are your thoughts when you hear that number of how many times you flipped?
I think on one hand, it makes me a little sad because I think my character deserves a little bit more integrity, one way or the other. But on the other hand, it also makes me understand that I'm a very valuable hand to the company, and I'm very valuable when there's a situation they need done and they need somebody they can depend on, whether it's work with Floyd Mayweather, whether it's to get this guy over, this new babyface over, to do a house show somewhere that the babyface got hurt and we don't have a babyface that weekend, we need you to go in and be one. I fill those roles.
All right. In your 17 years as you've been here in the WWE,
right,
what is your real deal assessment of how you've been booked?
Horrible.
Talk to me about the horrible.
Absolutely horrendous. I think the problem is I'm a victim of my own success, because in our business they're always trying to find their best fix they can as fast as they can, and I wasn't like you or Sean or some of the other guys that would put your back to a wall, and if something wasn't right, you'd say, hey, kiss my ass, I'm not doing it.
Right.
I was never that way. I've always been a team player, and I've always looked at it like Vince McMahon gives me a whole lot of money and a hell of a contract, and Vince McMahon asked me to go out and put on a diaper and dance for Baby New Year for some weird commercial. I'll do it.
You think you got the most out of your career with the potential and the size that you brought to the game?
God, that's such a tough thing because that's what ifs.
What ifs?
That's what ifs. And I think, what ifs, I mean, who knows? I could have done with those what ifs and something else could have happened even worse. I just, Steve, I can't. Screw all that shit, what could have been, what should have been. I'm damn thankful for everything I've done, man. I've got to work with some of the greatest people in the business, and I really, really, really can't say that I have any greats. I mean, I wish I could sell more merch like you. That would be cool.
No, but on one end, I mean, you look at how big of an influence Hogan was, and basically getting in the business,
right?
Dropping a world title to you,
right?
Been an influence on your career and on your life, but to if you would have, and this is that if you would have taken a page out of his book, where he was very adamant about what was going to go on with his career in this business.
I don't know, Steve. Honestly, I don't think
there's no regrets.
No, I have no regrets because I'm not that smart of a guy. I'm not saying that guys that are able to make those decisions have a lot of vision in this business. You had a lot of vision. You were way ahead on merchandise. You were way ahead on your character.
I might have been selling merchandise, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I had vision. I played it as it came, and all of a sudden I started getting a little bit rowdy, and people started coming, and then I had to have that talk with Vince. But it wasn't like I was the smartest guy in the history of the business. I got lucky, and then things started happening. I mean, the king of the ring and all that stuff. So don't paint me as a visionary who was a smart guy in business.
Look at you.
I'm not that guy.
Yeah, but still, I beg to disagree because you had your finger on the pulse of what people wanted. You had your finger in that pie, and you directed that when you got the opportunity. That's not something that I would do. I'm not trying to knock myself or be funny. I don't have that kind of vision. I'm the guy that goes out there and works hard every night to put on the best match that I can. That's who I am.
Speaking of the best match that you can, I want to talk real quickly about Floyd Mayweather because, dude, y'all shot an angle. All of a sudden, that dude starts lighting you up.
Right.
And that was a shoot.
Yeah, it's funny. He's such a great businessman. People don't understand that kid is amazing. Understands the art of promotion, understands the art of heel babyface. And we were doing that angle because originally that was supposed to be me and him against Batista and Ray.
Right.
Batista got hurt, Ray got hurt.
But the punches, dude, I told
him to break my nose. I mean, he's one of the greatest.
You told him to break your nose?
He's one of the greatest fighters of all time. If he didn't break my nose and get blood, we were dead in the angle. Red makes green.
But I thought
red makes green.
But I thought you were madder than a hornet when that happened.
I was. I told him to run because I
I thought you were mad for a shoot.
I was mad. You break my nose.
But I heard you had to be held back because you were literally trying to kill the
Shane had to calm me down. If Shane hadn't been there, I'd have pulled his freaking spine out. This is all work here. This is all nice. Work. This is fine. This is where I got my mom jeans on that I hate that are so big and baggy. But anyway, I'd lost a lot of weight then. I just didn't fit. Boom. Now, right now, I come over this wall, this is full-blown shoot.
Hey, if you knock the hell out of somebody.
Yeah. Right now, Shane's talking. That's full-blown shoot.
Yep.
That's full-blown shoot. When your nose gets broken, the little medulla oblongata flips, and, it's not, I don't like me like that. That's not a good working guy.
Was it fun to work with a guy, though?
The match time, it was awesome. Other than that, his grandma was pretty upset at me for chopping his baby, her baby. So.
Coming into the company, here now sitting with me, how has your relationship changed or developed with the head guy in charge, Vince McMahon? Because everybody here, if anybody's listening, anybody's watching, anybody's down there in Florida who's in the training camp, you got to establish a relationship with Vince McMahon, and sometimes it's a very hard thing to do.
Yeah, you have to earn it.
What was that process like you? I got 5 minutes.
For me, it was very hard in the beginning. He had a lot of expectations of me. I didn't deliver.
That's one thing Vince always says. I give people opportunities, and then it's up to you whether you make it or not. But continue on because you made it.
I made it. I got a second chance because of you and Brock Lesnar. Because they asked Brock who he wanted to work with, and Brock wanted to work with me. So when I started doing the angles with Brock put me back on the map. By then, my attitude was different. My cardio was different. The way I took care of myself.
What were your dealings with the man himself as far as getting closer so that he could take you serious and say, hey, this is a guy I can depend on, a guy that will come through?
It's the same thing you told me. When I was doing all that struggling, what was the one thing you told me? Because I'd have a good match here, then a crappy match, then a good match. And you told me, every time you have a good match, try to have another one and build a consistency. And that's as hard. That's as hard as you got to work. Be consistent, and that's the difference. I remember you giving me that talk, and I got consistent. And then I got time to spend with Vince, and Vince got to learn that I'm not what other people said it was. He got to know me as an individual. And since 2003, him and I have gone to Iraq and Afghanistan every year at Christmas to visit the troops. So to me, He's been like a dad that I lost in a lot of ways, which he pisses me off like a dad would.
Right.
He challenges me like a father would, and he takes care of me.
Let's get into the go home here. You've been in a couple of movies. Knucklehead, you've been in a couple of albums, Santa Flex, you're hilarious.
Thank you.
And trying to, maybe in 2 years, once you leave this place, if you decide to leave it at that time, going into an audition, I mean,
dude,
how competitive is that? Because on one hand you think, hey man, it'd be great because I'm a 7-foot guy who weighs 450 pounds, but then on the other side of that, it's not like everybody needs a 7-foot guy that's 450 pounds.
Well, they can write you in the script just as easy as they can write you out of it.
Right.
You got to be able to deliver the lines, and the biggest thing is trying to impress casting directors in a short amount of time with a cold read that, hey, I did this part this way for you in a cold read, but I take direction very well. If you tell me what you want, I can give it to you.
Have you found this when you go into a room that people are so intimidated by you? It's like, dude, I don't want to tell this guy nothing because, again, earlier to the podcast, might bite my head off.
Yeah, please help me. And I always tell them, please help me with any criticism because I may not get this part, but whatever you're helping with may help me get another one. And I'm doing a lot of cold reads now just basically for that experience to learn more.
They
suck so bad.
Don't even get me started about a cold read. How do you want to be remembered once you decide to walk off into the sunset?
In WWE?
Yes.
As somebody that loved the business, that loved the guys I worked with, and I appreciated everything that I ever done. I'm just thankful, man. I mean, I don't care about big accolades or Hall of Fames or any of that gratuitous shit. I just want the respect to the guys that I worked with, respect from my boss, and I know what I've been able to do in my heart, and I'm very happy with it.
Was this business everything that you expected it to be, or it had to have been 10 times more than that?
It's so overwhelmingly more than anything you could ever imagine. I never knew what I was getting into when I got into this business, and after doing it, I can't imagine what my life would have been or even meaningful had I not been in this business. The friends I have, the experiences I have. I mean, I'm a small-town kid from South Carolina, and I've had my hands on the Great Pyramids in Egypt. I mean, Great Walls of China, London, Japan, Australia, South Africa. I've traveled the entire world and got paid to do a fantastic job that I absolutely love. I mean, that's a dream come true.
What is your greatest achievement in your mind and your career?
My greatest achievement?
Here within the company?
Respecting my peers.
Really?
Respecting my peers. I have respect now from the guys that used to come here, that used to ride my ass really hard, like JBL and guys like that had a hard-on for me, and they should have because I didn't have my shit together, to now that respect me, that shake my hand, that you can see in their eyes they respect my work.
Right.
And the ability to have the respect from the younger guys and help them along. That means the world to me because I've been on both sides of the coin. I've been the guy that had all of it. I've been from the penthouse to the outhouse, baby. I've dined with kings and queens, and I slept in the alley and ate pork and beans. So to run that full spectrum of my career and be able to turn it around and make it positive and leave out of here from the respect, I'm fantastic with that.
A quick piece of advice to anybody down there in NXT trying to get into business and learn the ropes, no pun intended.
Quick piece of advice. Stay versatile, stay hungry, stay attentive, and your future's not defined yet. Be open to new things. I think that's the one thing that a lot of people don't understand up here. It's not your gimmick or how do you walk to the ring or how do you pose. You got to have your in-ring skills, you got to have your fundamentals, and you got to have adaptability to change and mold and grow. And if Vince McMahon gives you an opportunity, make the most of it because sometimes they don't come twice.
And give me this camera. Always lay your stuff in. Hey, we're going to wrap this. And this guy, he's cussed at me because I used to beat the hell out of him.
Yeah,
hey, you
those knuckles. Look at those knuckles.
Hey, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here in Anaheim, California, here on the WWE Network on the Stone Cold Podcast. I've had a great blast hooking up with my old buddy, The Big Show. And once again, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're going to ride off into the sunset and drink some Steve Austin Broken Skull IPA by El Segundo Brewing Company.
By the way,
and that's the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. Am I still on camera? Because if I am, I'm going to talk to The Big Show. No, not yet.
This has been a Podcast One production. Download new episodes of The Steve Austin Show every Tuesday at PodcastOne.com. That's PodcastOne.com.
This summer, Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Summer of Cinema is here. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Mission Impossible, Beverly Hills Cop, Good Burger, and Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Bring the action with you and stream for free from all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.